The last and only time the STRV K was available for purchase was 7 months ago during the Blitz Fair. It was not a cheap vehicle to get your hands on, but it is quite a prominent tank not only in the comp scene, but as well a very strong performer in pubs. In today's video, I'm finally going to be talking about the STRV K being released in crates. We can see that this vehicle is going to have a 5% drop chance, it is going to have charms with these crates, and the camouflage is going to be a 6% drop chance. So essentially this is going to be just like your Object 777 crates or your VK90 crates when the tank was sold right out of the Blitz Fair. They're not going to be cheap. I would expect these to be just as expensive as the crates for the 777. So do keep that in mind. Now my guess is you're going to be able to purchase them with gold and as well with real money. I would say that anywhere around $50 to $100 is what you should expect to spend to get your hands on this tank. Probably more towards $100 as this will be the first time it is released outside of the Blitz Fair. So, in today's video, I'll be playing in the STRV, showcasing its playstyle, and you can kind of formulate if you think it's going to be worth it for yourself when this vehicle does get released, probably within the next week or two in crates. So let's start off with the gun. It's a rather interesting gun, because it's essentially taken off of a medium tank. It features 2.7 seconds of aiming time, 0.317 dispersion, and 3,464 damage per minute, which makes it the highest for a heavy in Tier 10. But it only has 350 damage per shot, and its penetration is quite lackluster, only at 310 on the APCR and 260 on the AP. So it doesn't have the best pen, it has really good DPM, but really poor alpha. Essentially what this is a medium tank, which has the hit points of a heavy, which is good and bad at the same time. Now, when it comes to loadout on this vehicle, you can run super speed boost. However, I don't, and the simple reason why is because this tank gets absolutely smoldered by fires. I have been lit on fire a lot of times while driving the tank personally, and I have seen a lot of other players get lit on fire. Just alone the other day when I was playing a scrim with a comp team, two of the players that were running STRVs got lit on fire for over 500 each. So personally, I just run adrenaline and double repair kit. That way I don't need to worry about fires, and I can still have plenty of DPM to deal with whatever's in front of me. Here we are in battle number 1. Up against us we have an FV4202 STB1 Vickers Light and a Vickers CR. That is quite a bit of mobility. That's 4 mediums. So we're going to have to be a little careful, but we'll see what we can do. When it comes to heavies, we got a 60 TP. I mean, we got some strong heavies. Alright. Let's do that. Alright, let's see what we can do here. 4202 Vickers Light. Alright, well, we are down 1 medium, but that's fine, because, again, I am in a STRV K, and I'm going to try and do that job. Oh, thanks, 183. Really, really amazing teammates we have here. What was that driving? You could have... Okay, I'm not going to complain. There's nothing to say. Just, if I bleed health in this crossing, I'm going to be rather angry. Alright, so let's push over here and see if we can get some damage. Oh, we got the Vickers off to the side. There you go. Nice pen. Now, when it comes to the armor of the STRV K, it's not great. It's the same as a Kron on the hull, and the turret is the same as a Centurion, which, yeah, you can imagine, it creates a rather weird armor profile, where you don't really have a lot of armor in the tank, but you don't have a lot of bad armor either. I mean, it's plenty to get the job done. The enemy Vickers is going to run. We get a nice shot into the STB in the crossing. Now we're going to push over towards the FV4202, who my 183 is once again going to do a fantastic job of blocking me on. Alright, well, let's go for an HE into the rear of the Vickers. Nice 386 roll. And now we're going to try and get a bonking into the 4202. Just like that, we get a shell into his lower plate. And the crazy part is we actually have more DPM than his vehicle, so we out-reload him. So just like that, we've been able to deal 1,500 damage and completely swamp their one side of the map. We got the Vickers in the back, who we get a nice shot into for a max roll of 438. Got the IS-7 showing me his lower plate, so we get a nice slip into that for 420. Wow, we're getting some nice rolls here. So we got the 7.52 in the back. Let's aim it on that. Maybe we can get a nice shell in. Boom. Now you'll notice that the dispersion and aiming time on this gun are pretty decent as long as you're sitting still. The moment you start moving this tank, yeah, the gun blooms quite a bit. You'll notice that it's got very poor on-movement dispersion. So that is something you do have to keep in mind when driving this tank, is the poor on-movement. But because you've got such a fast rate of fire, it really doesn't matter all too much. You can just keep on peppering your opponent over and over. So let's finish off that IS-7. Now we're going to push on through mid and see if we can get some damage into the enemy Kranvan. Alright, well, let's go for a bounce on his upper plate. Rather unfortunate, but that's fine. We're just going to reload, and there you go. One nice pen. Let's back on up. Looks like the 4202 is not going to pen him. Neither is anybody else, so we get one nice pen in there. Alright, well, not a bad first game at all. You can see where the Stritzvan's mobility, high DPM, and pretty decent overall gun accuracy allowed us to do 4,200 damage and come out with an absolutely smoshing victory. But that's what the STRV K can do. It's just a really solid gun. So that's our first game. Pretty solid result. We also blocked 1130, and we pull out an ace, but that makes sense because the average player really doesn't do all too well in the STRV K. What I'll say is, armor-wise, don't expect it to be great, but it will get bounces here and there. It's not like a medium where the armor is pretty bad in certain situations. Like, it's more like a pattern. That's the best way I can describe the armor of the turret. Here we are in battle number 2. Up against us, we have a TVP Leopard 1. That's all for mobility. Okay, they got a VZ, a Super Conk, and an E100. Alright, that's actually a pretty solid lineup they have. The main thing we're going to have to be careful about is all their heavies are quite solid for either haul down or... Oh boy, our whole team's going to A. Why are they going to A? I'm in an encounter game. Normally teams that go to A... What? Okay, either way. I'm going to try and do the best I can, but, I'm just speechless. If the enemy team goes this way, I will eat a shoe. Like, I will live stream me. Oh my god. What is this game, bro? Okay, well, I'm going to chill right here, because this is where I like to go. Let's see if we can get a shell into the enemy 100. The answer will not surprise you. Instead, we get bonked by the... I love how I get punished for going with my team. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. So, it's going to be one of these games. Yay! Wow. Alright, well, this is a disaster already. If our team doesn't push this, we lose. And I can't push because I'm in a STRV K! Wow. I'm really trying not to mold here, but, what am I supposed to do in this game? Like, if I drive over this, I'm pretty sure I get beamed by an E4. And, I can't cross this because the E100's going to shoot me. Well, gonna go for it. Oh boy, they got a super... Yep, there's the E4. Who could have guessed that? Oh, I did. Wow. Alright, let's just see if we can beam the super con. That's really the best decision I can make here. Got the Leopard, the 183. Alright, let's get a shell into the Leopard, or not. I'm just gonna go into base cap, honestly. This is such a scuffed game. Like, I hate going to A, and you can see why. Like, A is just such an unconstitutional way to play. But, well, we'll see what I can do. I'm most worried about that E4 beaning me from the rear. But at the same time... Ooh, boy. Come on, 183, poke it. Oh, no. Alright, well, E4 is pushing over here. I'm kind of hoping he pushes. I'm going to back up and bait him here. Come on. Come on. Please? Really? You're gonna be that player that just waits. Alright, well, there you go. He shot HE. What a skilled player. Alright, well, I'm gonna shoot at the 183 because that is a much, much bigger threat. And a bonk. There you go. Nice shot. Okay. Well, we're not losing, to be fair. Sticking with the team has played out pretty well so far. The E4 has a damaged ammo rack, which means that once he shoots here... Oh, well, that's also one of the reasons why you want to repair a damaged ammo rack. Okay, well, we're not dead. We are winning, I think, and we're up to 2,800 damage, so not a terrible result so far. TVP's on my side, which is rather cringe, but not much I can do about that. Alright, well, let's push the Leopard and miss that shot. That's unfortunate. Okay. TVP is still off to my side, and I'm going to back up. Huh. Alright, well, let's get a shell into you. Now we got a TVP off to my side. Yay. That's such a fun tank to fight, isn't it? Man, I love fighting myself a TVP. Where did that shell go? Bro. Alright, well, the good news is that we should out-reload the Leopard, which we did. Once again, this tank does feature very solid DPM. And even though this is one of the most cringe games I've played in a while, the STRV prevailed. We were able to win. And, yeah, alright, rather interesting battle overall. TVP's going down low. Looks like he's going to try and YOLO me here. Come on, TVP, push my teammate. Bonk. Yes! I was going to track him. As you can see, I shot him in the track wheel, so it would spin him out and he couldn't hit me. But I guess that works either way. So, wow, that was an incredible game. This is why I don't play Encounter all too much. I was playing Encounter today because me and my friend were platooning and kept running into the same tune, so we swapped over to Encounter. But, hey, we won. We did 3,800 damage. So, here's what I'll say about the STRV K. It's got a really, really solid gun for farming. A really bad gun for holding. The problem with that game was the E4 was on our side. Thankfully, he wasn't the most skilled of players, because if he had played that correct, it could have been terrible. Especially that super conk, I'm really not sure what he was doing either. So we got a little lucky that their team didn't really play that game to how they could have. We very easily could have lost that. Their E100 was stock, their 183 killed himself, but as you could see in that battle, the STRV was able to take advantage of the situation at hand and come out with a victory, so I really can't complain. It's a super fantastic tier 10, and you can see how the playstyle kind of performs. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.